Hey guys, welcome back. It's Miss Wendy here again, and today is National Tennis Day and National Dog Biscuit Day. I know those don't go together at all, but we're going to do both of them. We're going to have fun. I want you to remember to come pick up your craft, and yes, it has Valentine's stuff on it, but February is all about Valentine's Day, and last week I did Go-Mobiles, so it's a Valentine rocket, so come get your supplies and make sure you make that because it's really cute craft. I'm going to read a couple of books. The first one is just a little bit about tennis, so I can tell you some about it. Do y'all play tennis?
No.
Yeah.
I'm almost about to.
You're almost about to. Well, good. We're going to talk about a few things today. Hundreds of years ago, people in France played a game of the palm. They used their hands to hit a ball instead of a racket. In the 1870s, Major Walter Wingfield made a book of rules. His game became known as lawn tennis. And back in the old days, this is even shorter than most of the time. The women would have to wear long dresses to play tennis in. Each player uses a racket. A lightweight racket with a large head is good for beginners. Players hit a tennis ball over a net. The net stands 3 feet high in the middle of the court. And our little net over there is exactly 3 feet high. People play tennis outside or inside. The surface can be grass, clay, or a hard court. Singles play on a smaller court. Doubles play on a wider surface. Players take turns serving the ball from behind the baseline. Tennis can be a one-on-one game, and this is called singles tennis. For doubles, 2 pairs face off. A competition is called a match. A match is broken down into games and sets. To win the game, a player or pair must be the first to score 4 points. The first to win 6 games wins the set. Players who take the most sets win the match. During a match, players must return the ball without letting it bounce more than once. In doubles, the pair decides which areas of the court they will play. And have you ever heard when they're keeping score for tennis, they will say to love, and if they say love, that means they have 0 points. Okay, this book is kind of cute. It's called Dog Biscuit, so I figured I have to read it because today is Dog Biscuit Day. It's by the same author who did. It's the Pumpkin Soup. Have you ever read that one before, Miss Jessica? Mm-hmm. It's a pretty good book too. Hungry Bridget stole a biscuit, found the biscuits in the shed. They were made for dogs to eat, but Bridget ate the dog biscuit. It tasted salty and sweet. At the same time, it tasted good. Mrs. Blair found Bridget there with telltale crumbs around her mouth. "Oh my," she said and shook her head. "You'll go bow wow and turn into a dog." "Don't tell my mom," begged Bridget. She wished she hadn't eaten that biscuit. "I won't say a word," said Mrs. Blair and winked. Mrs. Blair's dog winked too. And Bridget thought she heard it say, "I used to be a child like you. For the happy day I ate a dog biscuit." Bridget's mom was rather late. While they waited, Bridget felt an itch behind her ears. Maybe they were growing. Mom didn't notice a thing. Bridget wasn't telling. Mrs. Blair waved goodbye. The dog wagged its tail, and Bridget wagged her new tail in reply. On the way home, they stopped at the butcher shop. Bridget sniffed the air and tried a few little woofs. The butcher smiled at Bridget's mom. "Good little pup you've got there," he said. "That proved it, didn't it?" Bridget wished she hadn't eaten that biscuit. Mom still didn't notice a thing. Bridget wasn't telling. But at supper time, she gobbled her sausage and gnawed her chop and spilled her milk, and her brother joined in until Dad yelled, "It's like eating with a pack of dogs." At bath time, Bridget was a wild dog. At bedtime, even wilder. At story time, she was so full of mischief, Dad gave up. Yet Mom still didn't notice a thing, and Bridget wasn't telling. Though she wished, as she curled at the front of her bed, that she hadn't eaten that biscuit. Deep in the night, Bridget awoke when the moon was soon to rise. She heard the sound of someone outside. She smelled their scent as a wild dog can. Into the light bounded Mrs. Blair's dog, calling, "Time for some fun!" And Bridget went. She romped in the gloom with Mrs. Blair's dog. They tumbled in the shadows in the vegetable beds. Then Mrs. Blair's dog leapt over the hedge. Bridget went too, and was swept on the night wind into the park, into the dark, to run and bark with the rest of the wild dog pack. They promised a wolfish midnight feast to Bridget and Mrs. Blair's dog. Then the wild hunt sped up the hill, past the bandstand, the swings, and the paddling pool. The moment the moon climbed to the sky, the bandstand became a great meat pie, and heavenly sausages rained from the stars. And when they had all eaten their fill, they drank from the moonlit milkshake pool, and Bridget was happy indeed that she'd eaten that biscuit until she thought of her brother, her mom, and her dad. A dog for a daughter might make them sad. She gazed at the great dog biscuit moon and howled so loudly and made so much din that the moon exploded and the sky fell in. Gone were the hounds, gone was the moon. Bridget found herself back in her room with a mom who had noticed that something was wrong. So at last, Bridget told Mom about eating that biscuit. Mrs. Blair was teasing, said Mom. She wasn't, sniffed Bridget. Can't you see? Not very well in the dark, smiled Mom. But you smell like my little girl to me. Could we curl up like puppies, just us two? And tomorrow we'll ask Mrs. Blair what to do. Bridget felt girlish again the next day, but they visited Mrs. Blair anyway. Mrs. Blair shook her head. Of course it was a joke, she said. I'm sorry if I worried you. Let's go in and brew some tea and find my tin of human being treats. That did the trick. And Mrs. Blair's dog had one too. And there's one we can make human treats, but today we're going to make dog treats. But before we do that, we're going to do some tennis stuff. All right. It is so weird to take that thing off and how the echo is. Have you noticed that when you read your stories?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, girls. Let's see what we're going to do. I have different things. You can put your coat in the chair right here. Both of you put on one of these big shirts. Oh, for crying out loud. Then, I'm going to give you these. We have different things that we're going to do to kind of teach you some tennis skills. And guys at home, you can do this too. Get your dad's big shirt if you want to, or somebody who has a big shirt. Can you get it on over your head? And if you have little combs at home, you can use these too. So there's you one. Go over there and let Mom help you get that on your head if you want to. All right. So these things are what we're going to do. You can put the comb down first because you're going to be able to do this. I'm going to show you this. You're going to have your tennis racket and hold it out flat like this. You can come over here too, Liliana. Hold it flat. Now, I have tennis balls here. And you're going to see if you can balance the tennis ball on your racket with one hand. Okay? If you don't think you can balance that tennis ball, I'm going to change and do something else. Try to balance it with one hand. All right, do you have it with one hand? It's hard, isn't it? So, you practice. No. While you're balancing with one hand, see if you can. It's got to be on the strings, though.
Oh.
Balance it with one hand on the strings. See if you can squat down really slowly. It's hard to even balance it, isn't it? Yeah. Squat down really slowly.
I can do it.
There you go. Keep going, keep going. Now, stand back up. And we'll see if you can do it with a balloon. If the balloon will be easier.
Yeah, the balloon.
All right, let's see if we can try it with the balloon. All right. Now, walk around. Walk around with the balloon. Okay. Now, stop and bend down and touch the ground with your other hand without it falling onto the ground. See, it's harder than you think, isn't it? All right, let's see what else you can do. See if you can, like this. This is something else you can do at home, guys. Take your tennis racket, take your ball, and bounce it. Standing still.
Oh, wait.
Bounce
No,
it.
I can't.
Bounce it walking around.
No.
So these are things you can try at home. This is also something you can do at home. You can do it too. You can bounce it like a basketball. And this helps you get coordinated in order to be able to play tennis. All right? Let's see what else we can do. All right, let's put the balloons right here, and then we're gonna do another thing that y'all can practice at home. Okay, let's do this. All right, Liliana, come over here and let's see if we can do this. And then I'm gonna give you the racket, okay? Vivian, we're gonna see if we can, okay, we're gonna stand close together. What we're gonna do is this. Now, Miss Jessica, can you see us? You have to have 2 people for this, okay? And you can either use the tennis ball, but since we're new at tennis, because I'm new at it also, I have a bean bag. And what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna toss this to you and you catch it on the rack. Okay? All right, now toss it back to me. And we take a step back. Oh, now toss it back to me. See, and so here, what you try to do is you try to see how, don't step back into the our fake tennis net. All right, take a step back. Almost! So, you keep practicing that at home. All right, now, and I'll let y'all play that after a while, okay? Once we finish. Now, y'all go over here on the other side of the net. You're right. Okay, first, I'm going to put that on the floor there. First, you're going to take your shirts and you're going to hold them out like this in the front, like make a bucket. I don't want y'all to see my stomach at home. Make a bucket, yeah, like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is stand back a little bit, get back a little bit. All right, I'm going to drop it, hit it over, and then y'all are supposed to let it bounce one time and catch it in your shirt, okay? So let's see if y'all can do that.
Okay.
All right, this is going to be tricky, guys.
Dogs.
You ready? You might have to back up some. That one doesn't have any bounce. That one's terrible. Apparently these balls that we got don't bounce, Miss Jessica.
Oh, no.
So they are not real tennis balls. All right, so let's get this one. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let it bounce once and then catch it in your mind. Oh, you got it without it bouncing. All right, let's see. Now get your little cones. And guys, you can do this at home too. Roll me the also I'll have one over here, if you don't mind, please. You can roll me that other one too in your shirt.
So, do we catch it in the cones?
Yes, you're going to try to catch it in the cone this time. Liliana, get your cone. You ready?
Yes.
Might have to back up. Oh, did it go all the way through?
No. That'll be mine.
All right. And this is another thing you can do at home too. You can put because when you're playing tennis, guys, it is a fast game. You have to move around a lot. You have to be quick. You have to be up and down. So you can, if you have a lot of tennis balls, you can spread them out. We're not going to right now because we don't want to knock over our net. But you spread the balls out, and you have to pick them up one at a time and come and put them on your tennis racket. And that helps you, or you kind of stay in shape a little bit more when you're going to play tennis. Are y'all ready to make some dog biscuits?
Yes.
Do you
Set your
know,
stuff down.
Miss Wendy, where the love term originated from?
I don't. Do you know?
I don't. I just.
We'll have to look that up. All right.
Like ketchup?
Vivian, come on this side over here, and then I'll show you. All right. Guys, I have already made some dog biscuits at home, okay? These are quick and easy peanut butter biscuits. And it's 2 cups of flour, a half a cup of peanut butter, 2 eggs, and you just stir that around and then add a little bit of water. And you bake all of these at 300 or 350 degrees. These, and I'm going to tell you, I made them, my dogs liked them. So we're going to send some home with you. This one is very easy, guys. This is just two ingredients. You get whole wheat flour, and then you know what you get to mix with it? Baby food. Baby food. So you get blueberry or beef or sweet potato, whatever you want to, and get 2 jars and mix that with, and then bake those. Yes, ma'am.
Can I go to the bathroom?
Of course you can. Right across there. This one is apples and carrots. This is just whole wheat flour, applesauce, and grated carrots. And then this one is salmon and sweet potato.
Oh my
So
gosh.
there's a can of salmon in there, and then sweet potato, I grated that up. And when I was baking all of this stuff, guys, I sprayed it with this. This is coconut oil, and coconut oil is okay for dogs. As a matter of fact, one of our things, you can actually make sweet potato fries for your dogs, okay? You use coconut oil, you cut up a sweet potato, peel it with your peeler or however you want to peel your sweet potato, then cut it up in little French fries, and you put the coconut oil on it, then you put a little bit of turmeric, and you also put a little bit of cinnamon, and then you bake it in the oven. Who would have thought? All right, now let's see what we can make. We're gonna make this other one here. These are frozen, they're gonna be frozen dog treats. The others you bake, but there are two kinds that I have that you can freeze. All right, so I want you to help me with this. I forgot to bring another bowl. All right, so what we're going to do is this. We need to have an apple. So let's peel the apple.
Do you need gloves on? Or do they need gloves on?
You know what? What I did was for y'all, go down there and get your get some hand sanitizer right here. You see it, Lily? Get you some hand sanitizer. I'll wear gloves. Of course, it's dogs, so COVID should hopefully COVID should not mess with a dog. But I'm going to go ahead and peel the apple. Liliana, while I'm doing the apple, can you peel the banana for me?
Okay.
This one, I'm combining two different recipes for this one. It says to use 2 apples, but instead of using 2 apples, we're going to use 1 apple, and we're going to use part of a banana. All right, so we're going to cut this up. All right, Liliana, you put, where's my, let me get this spoon. Let's do about, all right, so squish that up in there with your spoon. Can you see? Is it squishing? I can squish it more in just a minute. All right, let's dice up these. We don't want them real big. We want to dice up our apple pieces. Is it mushing? Squishy mushy? And guys, dogs can chew up things, so it doesn't matter if they're tiny for your apples or not. So we're gonna put this in there. Let's scrape that in there. Got it? Now, to make it frozen, we are going to add a little bit, where's my cinnamon? Let's add a little bit of cinnamon. And we are going to put in yogurt. Yogurt. Okay, and that's how these are little frozen doggy treats. Okay. Let's mix that up. And this is plain non-fat yogurt. Don't get the vanilla kind, just get the plain. And I think people use this for, a lot of times they use yogurt for sour cream in place of sour cream. Is supposed to be better for you. So let's stir that up. Did you wash your hands in the bathroom?
I should have some hand sanitizer.
You want to get some, you did get some hand sanitizer too? All right, Vivian, you want to stir that up a little bit? Stir it, stir it, stir it. And while you're stirring that, we're going to come over here to the next one. We are going to use some pumpkin. Let's get an egg. We have 1 egg for this one. All right, is it mixed up real good?
Yeah.
All right. While I'm mixing up on this one, do you want to y'all can take turns and do this. Put a little bit into each one of those, and after you freeze those, the dogs will have a frozen treat. So I'm gonna mix up my egg, guys. Mix, 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 mix. And then you get 2/3 cup of pumpkin. This is pureed pumpkin, just in a can. Can you help me find 2/3 on there, Vivian? Do you see it? Right there. All right, so let's put 2/3 pumpkin in there. All right, guys at home, help me. Can y'all help me see if I have this measured out? Does that look like too much, or does that look about right? 2/3, can you see it? Does that look about right? All right, let's add 2/3 pumpkin in there. We need to add a little bit of cinnamon to this one. Tiny little bit. And then we need 1.5 cups of flour. Let's measure this out with a measuring cup. I have 1 big cup right here. And guys, if you're trying to do this, you know, where it's really, really good, you have a knife and kind of scrape over the back to make it even. So that's 1 cup. And what did I say we needed? 1.5. So we need to get this one right here. How's that coming along? Oh, that looks good. Miss Jessica, show them at home how that's going to be good. We're going to put those in the freezer for a couple of hours and see how that does. All right. So let's move this over here out of the way. Let's get our fork. And we're going to stir, stir, stir. And if it gets on our paper, that's all right. Because when I was making those other ones, I used flour on my cabinet because it sticks to the cabinet. And so you have to make it into a dough, and you don't want it sticking to your cabinet. So you put a little bit of flour out. But see, here I have this cool paper that makes it, I'm gonna put that in there, that makes it where it won't stick to the table. You know what, Brandy, could I ask you to do me a favor, please? Mm-hmm. Would you mind, I'm gonna put that right here, thank you, ma'am. Would you mind just rinsing that off real fast, please? Yeah, thank you. All right, now this
Fun part.
This is the fun part. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's get our roller. And you roll those out.
Can I do it?
You know what? Look what's happening. What do I need to add? What do I need to add, girls? I need to add some flour.
Keep your hands safe, I guess.
I don't know. So I'm going to add a little bit of flour in there. It's kind of fun to make a mess, too. And guys, at home, when I was doing these, I was able to mix up new batches while the other ones were cooking. So you can do this at home very easily. All right. That's pretty good. Now, what I want you to do, you can take turns doing this. Make a kitty cat cookie cutter. We're going to spray our pan. Then you're going to be able to cut these out, and you put them on your pan. Oh, that's sticking to the bottom, isn't it? You know what? For the dogs, they don't care how they look, and they still are tasty. So you put those on the pan.
It kind of looks like a dog now.
It kind of looks like a dog now, that's right. And you bake these for 40 minutes. So what I do in the oven, I set my oven between either 300 or 350, and I put them in for 20 minutes, and then I turn them around and bake them for another 20 minutes. All right, the last one we're going to make is best breed of dog biscuits, okay? And this one, we're going to use whole wheat flour, okay? So, where's our measuring cup? Do you see my big measuring cup again? All right, we need this. We need 1 cup. You can double this. I'm not making that many because we have so many other ones. So we have 1 cup. First, you know what? Since we have to use an egg, let's do this egg.
Can I do it?
You know what? I'll let you mix it up.
Mm.
Let's get the spoon here. I mean the fork, because you're going to have to stir that up, okay?
They don't look like this.
Can you get that out? Get that little piece out. Thank you. Oh, get that little piece out. Thank you, ma'am. All right. Now take your fork right there and stir that up. It's okay. They'll still taste good. And guys, once you're doing this, when you finish cutting out as much as you can, you get your ball of wax. You put it all together. I mean, your ball of dough. Let's get a little bit more flour there. Your ball of dough, you put it together, and then you're going to be able to roll it out again. And we'll do that one in a minute. But let's get this first. All right, so we have 1 egg in there. We need 1 cup of whole wheat flour. Okay, now we have oats. We need 1/2 cup of oats. Where's my 1/2 cup? Do y'all see it?
Right there.
It's in here. It's hiding in here. It's hiding in here. All right, we need 1/2 cup of oats. Okay, let's put that in there. We need 1 tablespoon of parsley. You can use dried parsley flakes, or you can use fresh parsley. If you use dried, you only use 1. Let's see, I need 1/2 tablespoon, so I'm not gonna put that whole thing in there. You use more fresh than you do dried. Then we need 1/2 cup of dry milk. This is dry milk. It's not regular milk like they drink. These gloves are slickery. All right. Slickery, that's one of my made up words. All right. How much did I say I needed this? Do you remember, Vivian? Did you hear what I was saying? How much? It's gone. 1/2 cup. We need 1/2 cup of the dry milk. So let's put that in there. Then we need a tiny little bit. My stuff is getting hidden. Do you see the little piece of salt? There it is. You need a little bit of salt. Salt's not good for anybody, so we don't want to mess up the dogs either. A little tiny bit of salt. We have 1 egg. We need, Miss Jessica, don't breathe. All right, Miss Jessica's allergic to peanut butter, but she's not going to eat it, so she's going to be A-okay. We're going to get some peanut butter in here.
Smush this up, and we're going to roll it out.
Roll it out again. It's fun to do it now. This is a terrible knife to try to get peanut butter out with.
We use butter knives.
This is, yeah, I need a butter knife. I need a real butter knife. It's hard to stir, isn't it? Because it's all dry ingredients right now.
Yeah.
Except for the egg. We have the egg in there. And now we're going to add the peanut butter, and so that will make it a little bit more moist. And we're going to add a little bit of water. All right, start stirring.
It's hard to stir. It's like
Here, let me
stuck.
add the water to it and see if that will help. Is it stirring?
Not as well.
Here, let's see. Let's stir it with the fork and see if that'll help. And guys, you keep messing with this till, and I'm gonna have to add a little bit more peanut butter, but then you bake this too, and this one you bake for 45 minutes to an hour. So again, I would spin it around about halfway through, in your oven just to cook it on both sides. But once we get this mixed up too, it's going to be a good dough, and we're going to roll it out. We have a shamrock because St. Patrick's Day is the next holiday we have coming up. And you're going to bake that, and then you serve these treats to your dogs. Don't give them too many because you don't want them to get fat. But when they do something good, give them a treat. And remember, today is Dog Biscuit Day and Tennis Day. And I hope you had fun. And if you want any of these recipes, just let me know, and I can run those off for you or email them or whatever. So y'all have a good rest of your week. And I'm sorry, I'm losing my mask. All right. Bye, guys.